Good afternoon, culinary kids. So this is Mr. Sutphin, and today is a demo on a new topic. Today we're going to be talking about hand tools that we find in the kitchen and what we can do with these pieces of equipment. So we can use it for grinding, mixing, pureeing, all sorts of wonderful things. So I'm going to demonstrate briefly on what these three pieces of equipment are in my kitchen. And not sure if you guys have them. If you do, that's wonderful. But the first one that if you ever get an opportunity to get, and I like the Cuisinart brand, I think it's very reliable. It does the job really well. But this is a Cuisinart food processor. It's a 14 cup food processor. They do make a smaller version. I recommend the bigger one because if you're going to make soups and chop a lot of vegetables in here, you have a lot more room. You don't overcrowd it. But what is it? Okay, so here we have, we got different components to it. Here we have the lid, and in here we have the pusher, which we can push vegetables down into. We got the blade, as you can see here, very sharp. Be very careful with this if you use it. And then the cup holder and the base. So what we're going to do is we're going to click it back into place. And what we have here is the ability, and let me just show you how this would briefly work. I don't have any food here to demonstrate for you today, but I'm going to show you how you just click it into place. And here this comes out, this piece comes out. So you could use this to push vegetables in here, like a sweet pepper, and slice it if you wanted to do that. Plop it back into place. And in here, you could just put the food directly into this, or you could just open the lid, put the onions in there and whatever you want to chop, or you can puree. Now, you got two buttons here. You got the off pulse. So the pulse, and I will show you how that works here. You can see here, I don't have any food in there, but it just pulses the food, so it chops it real quickly. And then once you get it chopped to your consistency, then you can put it on, and that will make it even more purified. You have two other components that are real common in this. So I open the lid, I take out the blade, set it aside, be very careful. It is incredibly sharp. You got two different metal plates here. This one is for shredding vegetables, cheese, anything you want to do. And this one is for slicing. Like I say, these are very sharp, so if you have these, be incredibly careful. You look on the bottom side, and you have a little piece like this attachment. And what we do is we can take this attachment, and we're going to click it into place, like so. And you can see that? Okay. Then we take this attachment, and we place it into there, like so, and put the top back on, like that. Now, I'm gonna be able to slice. So if I cut a bell pepper, now keep in mind there is a maximum fill thing on the side here, and so you do not want to put any vegetables that are gonna go above that, then that's gonna cause a problem, and it's a safety concern. So I would put the peppers or onions or whatever I want to slice in here, and then I could use this to push it down. I could use the lever, I could use the lever to kind of push it down like so, and then it would slice the vegetables using the pulse option. A second choice you have, which is wonderful, okay, and be very careful when you're lifting this out. I'm going to detach it. I'm going to put it on the next one, which is my shredding tool. And again, be very careful here. These are incredibly sharp. And I'm just going to go and click it into place like so. Put that in here. Put the lid back on. And I will be showing you some videos on how this works exactly, a little bit more in detail. And now I could put cheese, I could put things I want to shred, some, let's say zucchini, and I'm going to make some zucchini patties or whatever I want to make, and then I can use the pusher to grind it in there as and I can pulse it. So that is one of my tools. Okay. The next tool I want to share with you guys is, let's move this aside here for a second. And this one is this is probably my favorite tool in the house. I don't use it a lot, but when I do, it's nice to have this tool. It is called Immersion Blender, and I may have shown this to you guys early in the class. So you see here, it actually is a two-part piece of equipment. It comes apart. Here is a blade in here that I can use to chop it. Plugs in. It's got a button here to pulse it. So let me show you how this works. And I got a nice little attachment that I'm going to show you guys here too in a second here. So you take it as so, click it into place like so, and then you can see it works. So what do I use this for? This is a great way to make homemade tomato sauce with this. So I just basically get a big pan. I put the fresh tomatoes in there. I like the canned tomatoes. There's a brand, and now I don't remember the name of it, but it's I think it's I will remember it and I'll tell you later here. But they're Italian tomatoes. You get them in the can. You can get them in Italian markets. You can probably find it in most markets here. And so what I do is I put the immersion blender into the tomatoes, into the pot, and you just put it at the very bottom of the pot and let it blend these. You can use this to make soups. I use this to make my mashed potatoes for the holidays. And when holidays come, I'm going to show you a demonstration of how that works. Now, when you're done, you just have to make sure you unplug it, detach it, and you want to make sure you clean the bottom part here, because this one can get, real dirty from the food. So make sure you be careful when you're cleaning it, because it's a very sharp blade, but you can put this thing under water. It's perfectly safe. Now, one other thing I'm going to show you about this tool is sometimes they come with an attachment. It depends on which one you buy. You got a little mini food processor, so maybe you don't want to get out the big one because it's a lot of work, it's heavy. You want something a little bit smaller and convenient. So with the Cuisinart, I decided to buy the little attachment, which is a mini food processor. So maybe you just want to chop and make a salsa, and you want to chop your onions and your cilantro and your peppers real quickly, real easily here. You can just put the stuff in here. And then I'm missing my blade, so I will have to get my blade here, but I have that hidden somewhere in my kitchen. And the next thing you do, plug it in, you take the immersion blender, snap it in place, and there you go. That's gonna blend your tomatoes, it's gonna blend your onions, your cilantro, and you have an instant tomato salsa, which is delicious. Okay, next up, one last thing, and there's many things around the kitchen that you could use for this kind of purpose. But again, we're talking about grinding, mixing, and pureeing. This one's probably something that you guys have seen a million times before, and you may have one of these in your household. This is a Black & Decker. This is just a blender. And what can you use this for? Well, this could do the same thing as your food processor can, but it can do it. This is I use this a lot for making smoothies. So I'll put my vegetables in here and my liquids. Sometimes I'll put some almond milk in here with my fruit and stuff like that, and I will blend it together. So I use this, and I'm going to show you a demo of this on a Adobe Spark page that I made for another class, where this is how I made my marinade. So I made a marinade out of like pasilla chilies and onions and garlic and fruit juices and stuff like that. And I blended it in here, and then I marinated my chicken, and unbelievable dish. Really, really yummy. So again, it could be for drinks. You could be using it just to be able to blend your vegetables, fruits, all sorts of different things. Plus, the one thing that's great about this thing is you get all the fiber of it. So it's not like a juicer where it takes a lot of the fiber out. This one actually keeps everything in it. So that is the quick demo. I'm going to be showing you more videos on some of these equipment and other people that are using it, so it'll give you a more detailed look at somehow this equipment works. So thank you for listening, and have a nice day.